Oh, did you hear about the Tony Hawk remake coming?
Yeah, they're remaking 1 and 2.
Bro,
It's like I don't know how I feel about it though. I'd
no,
almost
I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna just be super optimistic for no reason and be excited because I love that game. Like
see. I never played 1. I played 2 religiously.
I played,
Um, so you played both?
yeah, and I was like the get the high score, max out. Like, yeah, dude, I love that game.
I think it was it?
I think it was
You
after 3 where I got shitty, like kind of shitty.
um, I know. I think it was 3 where you could start having clans. That was the first time I started a clan. Was in Tony Hawk 3.
See, I don't, yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember that part because I know I played 3, but not as much as I play 1 and 2. Those are awesome games, and then they just got kind of. It's like wrestling games. They used to be so good, and then better graphics. That's why I always say, like, look, if your game has to look more cartoony or more or less realistic, but it's gonna be fun, go that route
Yeah.
because people play like you can look as real as you want, but if you're boring, I'm not playing you.
No, I agree 100%. I remember the one wrestling game my friends and I would play in high school. What was the name? What was it?
At
it
WCW NWO Revenge
I think
64.
so. Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
the best. That is the best. So I know it. That is the
That
best wrestling game ever.
that was hands down just so much fun. Oh my gosh.
That was the beat. That was by far the best game for wrestling.
I mean, it's
The battle royals and the Royal Rumble and the yo.
yeah, we would do like a Royal Rumble and we would just play all night. All night.
Yeah, I used to use like Juventud Guerrera and like Psychosis and that was a good game.
Yes, it was.
That was a good game. It's like and they were cartoony and I mean I'm not saying take advantage of the graphics, but like prioritize the fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can do whatever you want to talk about, man. And those subjects are good for me. I think that was like the only thing super interesting. Besides, I mean, we had the Xbox. I think the Xbox reveal and the PS5 reveal, right? Of gameplay.
Yeah, actually, here, let me. I did have one news article about,
I did see the PS5 reveal.
yeah.
Like the game reveal that, and that thing was gorgeous, bro. The
Well,
thing was,
here's the weird thing, and this goes down in rumors, at least for the PS5. Let me move this a little bit. Oh my gosh, I can move it without it being wonky on me. Um, oh, well, I'm already recording. So, by the way, welcome to the Nerd and Geek section of podcast. Whether you are watching us on YouTube, which is where it's going for now, and I don't know, I put it on Facebook, but I don't really count that too much. But thank you for joining. But yeah, I have this new news article I found, and it bugs me in a way if this is going to be true. Okay, it says that the premium starter pack, and this is what bugs me. I don't care about the price. Okay, it's going to come with a 1.65 terabyte SSD for $650.
650. Oof.
And for right now, I want to take the price out. Why 1.65 terabyte? If this is true.
Yeah, that was something I saw in a YouTube video as well. It was like I think Xbox is 2, right?
Yeah. Oh, actually, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about Xbox yet. But
If I'm not mistaken, Xbox might be 2, and then yeah, PlayStation had a weird number. I don't know
let's see.
for some of their hardware. I don't know. That is interesting.
Um, the basic PS5 pack is reportedly selling for $540, while this premium PS5 pack with the 1.65 terabyte is $650. The regular PlayStation is going to have 825 gig.
Such a random number.
I know. That's what I don't understand about this. Because isn't even the PlayStation 4 Pro, isn't it 1 terabyte?
I mean, remember my old Xbox, the 500, and then I have the 1 terabyte now. So maybe they're gonna start out with the low and eventually upgrade just to get people to rebuy them. It's a smart business move.
Well, first it's like I don't like it because if you do the math, I mean, if The Last of Us 2 is going to be on 2 Blu-rays and it's supposedly over 100 gig, then you add in these next, almost next gen graphics.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be putting, like, just on the regular PS5, you're going to put about 8 games on it. And that's that we're not even talking about how much, room is being taken up by the OS too.
Very true.
So I don't know. I guess I was expecting, something higher and not so random of a number.
Gotcha. I mean, it only makes sense to at least be round, like 800 or 500 or
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just so 825 seems so specific,
plus,
but maybe it's gonna be it's gonna run so good that's the worthy sacrifice. I don't know.
I mean, supposedly it's this, ultra fast SSD. So, take that for whatever, but I don't know. To me, it just seems so odd.
Yeah.
I mean, I have, a 2 terabyte and a 3 terabyte, little mini things sitting right beside me that are all, that are the whatever SSD or, I don't know what they're called. They're supposed to be really fast. And, I got them for both for under 100. So I don't know.
I was reading something here. I'm not sure how accurate this is, but it looks like the Xbox is using a 1 terabyte.
1 terabyte.
Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that they might have an upgraded version, or they always come out with the one that's low, and then the other one's gonna go. So
I don't know. I just keep thinking of this next gen thing, and I've already invested. My Xbox has, I think, a 2 terabyte as well, and the amount of stuff. I mean, I had to clean it up the other day too.
yeah.
So I don't know. This is going to get interesting, I think.
I mean, maybe it's time for Xbox to do its comeback, but it has to get some games because, me, I'm an Xbox fan. I really am. But playing Spider-Man and Final Fantasy and God of War, I'm like, man, these games are. And the PS5 is gonna get the new versions of all these games again. So like, I'm gonna have to invest in both because those games are awesome.
Oh no,
And I really hope we get a Spider-Verse PlayStation game. That'd be so dope. Like with the different characters, like maybe you could pick which one you want to play.
Isn't that what the new Spider-Man game had for the ending?
No, it was just kind of like a Miles Morales is one too, so a little bit, but it wasn't like with Spider-Gwen and I'm talking about I want to play a Spider-Ham, run around the city. Like I ain't playing no games.
That would be fun to just
and again, I think it would be like maybe something you unlock once you beat it, like just to have them for the fun of it. But they were really, I mean, they did a good job of being able to customize the suits and not being too grindy to be able to get the stuff.
Yeah,
it was just all around fun game. And Final Fantasy 7, I love playing it, but I always play late, and I start watching the scenes, and I'm like falling asleep, and I like to explore everything, so sometimes it can get a little kind of boring.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's one thing the Final Fantasy games have done like real well is all of the the exploring and such, finding bosses to go fight and just all that fun stuff.
Yeah, like you find a random chest just looking around or materia, and it's always something good. Like it's like, oh man, I'm glad I came all the way over here.
Yeah.
But
I know on Xbox Game Pass they just put Final Fantasy 9 on there, and I'm trying to debate if I want to go through that game or not again. It's
I don't
not
know if I
it's
ever played that one.
it's okay. It's kind of where they went away from the more humanoid style of 7 and 8 and went more cartoonish.
Oh, gotcha.
Um it's an odd, to me it's an odd entry into the Final Fantasy universe. But I remember playing it all the way through, beating
See,
it.
because I remember playing 7 when I was younger, I'd never beat it when I was younger. I beat it like a couple years back, when I was in the military. I got it for the PlayStation 3. You know how you could buy some of the older games, and I played it through that. And that game was awesome. And then I played 10 when I was younger, and that I beat. Like me and my pops would play the same file.
Uh-huh.
Like that's just how we did it. We just progressed through that one. And 10 was fun. I think 10 was
Oh,
like awesome.
I know I put in close to 60 hours into that game.
There was so much to do between the races with the birds and that soccer rugby thing that they play.
What
Like
was that called?
I don't know, but I used to play hours of that stuff. So like not only did I play the story and do that, I used to like do the races and so if you really want, you can do it. You can play that game for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yeah.
a fun game.
See, I had it on, yeah, it would have been PS2. And I was in college at the time and had a roommate. He stole all my memory cards, some games, and pawned them off. And so after that, I had close to 60 hours in that. I had 55 hours in Kingdom Hearts,
Damn.
and I couldn't go back to them. Oh, that hurt. That
I could
hurt.
only imagine, man. I
Mm.
remember when I was younger talking about memory cards, the one that hurt me was I had just gotten really close to beating Sons of Liberty, Metal Gear Solid,
Uh-huh.
which is one of my favorite games ever. And yeah, one of my memory cards got like my mom was moving the couch or something like that and crushed it. It was
Oh.
kind of my fault, but it was kind of her fault because I had left it on the couch on we had like the little cubby in the couch.
Uh-huh.
So I left it in there, and I guess when she moved the couch, it fell. But I was like, no.
Oh.
I mean, that one I replayed because I had so much fun and I knew how to go. I mean, it was my first run, so I made the
Uh-huh.
second run faster because I kind of knew how to maneuver it. But yeah, those games were so awesome. I can't believe Konami or messed those up, man.
Well, they got greedy. They kept wanting more and more out of Kojima, and then they just throw him to a curb.
Yeah,
You know?
they did. The way they done his series is just the last couple games, because Sons of Liberty to me is like just amazing. I don't know why that's always in my top 5 for forever.
That's the fourth one, right?
I think it's the second one. No, that's the second one.
Okay, the one where
With when they first introduced Raiden.
yeah, okay, yeah.
When you're running around the shell,
Yeah.
the little oil rig. Yeah, I love that game.
That one took
favorite.
me years to play because I remember getting to the point where it's like, it's talking to you as the player. That one boss fight where you're fighting the Metal Gear and it starts talking to you, and I think you're also naked as well. And
yeah, it's such a hardcore fight.
I could not figure that out for the life of me. Because
all you do is you have to keep dodging until the scene ends.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I finally figured out once I was able to like use the internet. But because I was at college at the time, and I remember having to use my cell phone, And it was, one of those old like flip phones,
Oh,
and
when they first started putting internet on them, yeah.
yes, and I plug it into my laptop, and it took me forever to get everything up because it wasn't that fast of a connection. And then I found out, oh, you just have to wait it out. You don't really have to. Okay,
Yeah, that's
stupid game.
yeah, that is annoying too, because you're like, yo, I just sitting here dodging. What is going on? But there was like a combination that if you like you get 1, 3, and 5 to shoot or something like that, the scene goes faster. I saw something like that.
Just a blunt way of putting it, Kojima is just he's incredible.
No, I agree. And I think he knew Death Stranding was going to be one of those games that either you loved it or hated.
Yeah.
I don't think he makes his games trying to pander to certain people, or I think he just makes his games and he knows some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. That's just,
yeah.
It's like anime and some of the other things. It's just,
yeah.
everybody's like, it's like, this is Amazon training to work for Amazon. And I just laugh because it is kind of funny, but I mean, like, but if the game's fun, you could argue Minecraft is just, playing Legos.
Yeah,
So,
pretty much. But the one thing I wish Kojima was able to do was the reboot for Silent Hill.
yeah, man.
Oh man, I wish
I never played them, but I used to watch my dad and my brother play them.
Yeah, I remember it. I bought Silent Hill 2, and I didn't play it at all. I had my friend play it, and I watched.
Yeah, those games are free. Like Resident Evil at night, my dad would turn off all the lights. I'm like, I'm not watching you play. He's like, nah, come hang out with me. Come hang out with me. Oh man,
but
those are fun.
So I figure since we're still talking games, let's talk about our sore subject of the day,
which is
the state of Destiny 2.
Oh no.
See, the one thing that makes me feel good is I'm seeing YouTubers in a way, and I know in a way that this is kind of like a double-edged sword, because the YouTubers don't really represent the casual player base.
No, not at all.
But if they want to represent themselves as the casual database, they can, and I feel like that they can make themselves heard to Bungie a lot more than the casual player can. And so a blunt way of putting it, we have been grinding bounties nonstop for almost a month and a half now, I think. Even longer than that, because we have right now we have the Seraph Towers.
I haven't logged on in like 4 weeks.
Well, we had the Sundial.
Okay.
Now we have the Seraph Towers, which are nowhere near as fun. Did you ever do the Seraph Towers?
Not one.
So the object is, there are 3 places where you do these Seraph Towers: Io, the Moon, and EDZ. So what it is Rasputin has this thing that we're supposed to blow up this huge Cabal ship that's coming to Earth, and we have to use these things to power them up.
Is it throwing the little orbs at the ball?
Yeah.
Okay, so I did do that with yeah, I did do that.
Yeah. So, but it's been like nonstop grinds because we have to build up these bunkers for Rasputin, and we had to do this in the previous update as well. So it's been nothing but a bounty grind for literally the past couple seasons. And then when Guardian Games comes out, and it's worse than that. It's nothing but a bounty grind.
I didn't play that either.
I didn't
I
either.
unlocked the second War Mine. That's it. The one in the moon.
Yeah.
That's as far as I've played. It's just not fun.
It's been nothing but a bounty grind, and people are fed up. Dado stopped playing. He only plays casually now, usually on Tuesdays when the new content comes out. MTash came out with a video, ripping Bungie a new one, saying this isn't fun anymore. It's not worth playing. And finally, I feel like that they listen, but I also feel like they don't listen because we've been complaining about the bounty grind even before these events.
Exactly.
We've been complaining about the bounty grind for almost a year now, and it only got worse with Shadowkeep, and then it got even more worse with these past two updates, and then Guardian Games was just it was horrible. It was a huge flop. There was only one day where other than the Titan, the Hunters won the first day, I think, of Guardian Games. The rest, it was nonstop Titans.
I can only imagine, especially with that shoulder charge.
Well, the problem is with the bounties that were there, it was easier to be a Titan. It was, because you can get your Titan set up to where you could do nonstop Supermans on the people.
Gotcha.
And it counted as doing a melee, which was part of some of the bounties.
Yeah, and getting melees with Hunters is not fun.
No. It's
Warlock,
not.
Warlock can kind of get it a little bit easier than the Hunter, I think.
Somewhat.
But
we
the
at least
Titan is a cheese.
Warlock, has some gear to help with the melee attacks. I'll give us that, but so Bungie last week came out and was like, okay, we're making, because part of the stupid story to advance on is we had to do, was it 9 million completions of Seraph Towers, 3 million on each planet.
Jeez. Oh my.
Yes, it's community effort, but someone did the math saying on the first day alone, we were at 5% on the EDZ, 1% on the other two. So some news reporter did the math. It was going to take us 165 days to complete at the rate it was going. And that's if they would keep that rate up. Already people were losing interest.
Myself.
It was dumb. I went and as soon as I heard it was up, I went, got the bounty from Anna Bray, and I saw I get it, and it said 5%, 1%, 1%. I'm like, and this is to get Fellwinter's Lie shotgun. Okay.
Yeah, I just heard about that gun.
It's for a gun, and this is only the first step out of, I think, either like 6 to 8.
I don't know, man.
I don't understand, after all the complaining we have been doing, they thought doing 9 million of just, and it said public events, but then it went down to specifics saying it had to be, those specific ones. And so here's what Bungie did. Within 24 hours, they're like, okay, during the week, you get a what is it? A 5-to-1 buff. Basically, 5 times buff. on the weekends you'll get it 10 times. And I'm thinking, I think you already did the damage. This is still going to take us forever to finish. I still don't want to do it. You still have to do the stinking Seraph Towers.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just so grindy, and those things are not fun.
I mean, think about it. 9 million times for just one event that is the exact same thing. And
Over and over.
And top it off, they made it harder. And they expect the community to do it 9 million times. So either one of two things happen. And the first theory was they wanted us to fail because they wanted a planet to blow up or something. So, but they supposedly said no to that. The second rumor is they underestimated how many active players are still playing. So
a lot of more people were playing than there really are.
Supposedly, but you would think that they have the numbers right there in front of them.
No, they're lying. If that's the case, they're lying. They know their game is not doing good right now. They don't want to admit it, but they know.
Yeah.
It's obvious. They have people that pay attention to YouTubers and news and stuff like that.
I mean,
that's stupid.
I'm reading everywhere where finally people are saying, man, they were better when Activision was around. And I still remember to this day when I heard about Activision, and I've said this multiple times on this podcast, that Bungie was stupid for going on their own because I didn't think they can handle it on their own.
No, I mean, they proved it. I think they did all right at the beginning. Like, it started off decent with the new dungeon and
well, don't forget that up until the end of that year, that was still Activision.
Oh, I guess technically, huh?
It wasn't until the beginning of this year, and well, let me take that back. Basically, beginning of this year would have been
2019 or 2020.
2020.
Because they haven't really come out. That means Bungie really hasn't released anything by themselves then except one DLC.
Yep. So that
I don't know.
I mean, supposedly this fall update is supposed to be incredible. Again, supposedly they've been working on this update now for 2 or 3 years. That's what's being at least rumored around the internet. If that's the case, then Activision probably still had a little bit of, in it, a little hand, so to speak, in it. So I don't know. Luke Smith keeps, coming back saying, well, trying to fix things and everything. But as much as I love the game, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna keep being just a casual player and just play it whenever new stuff comes out.
Gotcha.
I
think I'm gonna, if something happens and it comes out good, like a good DLC, I'll play it. But I think I'll just do like maybe a 1 character grind where I play for a couple hours, 2 days a week, but trying to max out all my resources and grind every raid and I don't think I'll be that guy.
No.
And I really feel like this whole weapon system, I get the whole concept of you have to have new guns, right? You kind of have to get rid of the old. I get it. But I don't know why you have to come out with so many guns. Come out with only a few and keep them good when they're good. Like,
yeah,
you don't have to keep doing the power creep. You can avoid that. We don't need freaking 20 new guns every new DLC.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was going to bring that up next because that's what the TWAB was about on Thursday. I'm thinking, wow, Bungie, you really know when to release stuff, don't you? It just...
Well, they were probably like, well, we're already down. Let's release it now. And then we could look like we're good. We're like, but wait till you see this DLC.
Well, the thing is, we were all thinking that it was going to start, fall, but it looks like this power thing is going to start next season.
Yeah, that's what they're
And
saying.
but here's the thing. They still have not answered this one question, and everybody is asking it, and that's if the pinnacle weapons are affected.
They're gonna be calling it.
And if they are,
That's BS.
it is, because I really wanted to get Luna's Howl, and when I heard about this, I stopped the grind until I knew for a fact if that's going to happen. Because I don't want to grind for that weapon if it's going to just basically be unusable.
I agree.
I'm going to be mad, even with the Recluse.
Same here. That's what I'm saying. That's where I'm going to be hurt. The Recluse, even some of the other ones like the machine gun you get from was it the Delirium?
Yeah.
All the other ones you earn, like the bow that you get from like the Gambit.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be doing that. Like people earn those. So that's actually really really interesting. They need to let those get leveled up.
I mean, if they're going to, excuse the exotics, then they need to excuse these pinnacle weapons. Because, oh my gosh, if the pinnacle weapons are affected,
people are going to be mad.
I mean, it's the state of Destiny 2 is bad now. It's only going to get worse. I mean,
unless they try to come out with a new game. That's all I could think of. Like maybe this July update's a whole new game, and maybe I could buy it then. Like if they tell me something like, "Look, we're just gonna really try something huge, try something new, just make the game almost brand new, Destiny 2.5, cool." But if it's not gonna be that, and I know it's not gonna be that,
no,
don't do all this stuff.
Yeah. Pinnacle weapons should not be touched because of how much grind Destiny made us do for all that. Exactly. I mean, just to get to the point of where I was for Luna's Howl was tough enough. And to, come to the realization that all that time I spent trying to get it wasn't worth it. No, Bungie. You need to stop and think about this before you guys implement it. I understand with, some of the other, weapons you get from Gunsmith. I can understand that. But for something, even a raid weapon, I would be upset about. Because you still worked hard in that raid to try to get it.
I agree.
So I know everybody's like, oh, well, this is going to help with the new meta. We should be using new weapons all the time. No, don't make me use something I don't want to use.
I want to use what I want to use. That's my mentality. Like, I don't know, if for those that want something new, great, but not all of us want something new.
I mean, look how Destiny 2 was received at first when we had to start over. This is no.
I don't know what they're doing. I almost wish they would come out with a really good DLC and tell people, look, instead of doing this 3 month, 4 month, whatever thing we're doing, we'll take a good 6, 8, 9 months, and maybe after 4 or 5 months, Destiny 2 kind of dies down a little bit. That's fine. I'd rather it be that, because we know, hey, that next DLC is gonna be on point, and then the community come right back, But if you're gonna keep doing this BS, people are just like, I'm done.
Yeah,
and then they talk to their boys like, hey, anything changed? Nah, man. They're like, all right, cool. I ain't coming back then.
I don't understand why they decided to go to this season model route. Games like Apex Legends, Fortnite, stuff like that, where it's the same thing over and over again. That's worth doing. Plus, they're free. Okay, this is supposed to be an MMORPG, and as long as you do the season model, you'll get that exotic weapon you want. You'll get that exotic gear you want, because all you're doing is just playing, and you get that, either that weapon that is for that season, or you get the engrams just by playing. There's no more of that doing a nightfall and hoping for that, Galahorn, or with the nightfall specific weapons, hoping for that god roll.
Exactly.
I mean, you still have the god roll part, but you don't need to play it if they're going to be phasing it out here in like however long it takes for Bungie
So
to
basically, they're
decide.
giving you a year to if you to enjoy the gun once you get your roll on it that you want, because
See,
it's gonna every 4 seasons it'll cap. So you get it this season, you'll for the next 4 seasons you'll be able to infuse it, and then it caps. So, and again, I try to always understand both sides. So like I I can understand, not that I agree, but I can understand they're trying to add new weapons. But I feel like you're adding more weapons is not going to change anything. Like every new deal, and that's your fault for having constant DLC because people are expecting constant stuff. If you have just 1 or 2 DLCs a year,
yeah.
then you can introduce just 4 or 5 guns. I would be thinking that's more than I know. Some people would be like, "That's it." No, I think that'd be more than enough. A couple new armors, and some add something cool. But it's people care more about the events than the guns.
See, we need to go back to Destiny 1 model where, like you said, every whatever we get content, and we're giving it to it all at once. We're not waiting week
Exactly.
upon week upon week for stuff to open up because, I still remember back in Destiny 1, went to, went to Disney and everything. I took my Xbox with me just so that I could do the Nightfall for the week. And now it's like you can miss a week and it's not necessarily going to matter. But if you missed a week back in Destiny 1, you missed it. You weren't able to get that you weren't able to go to Zur and oh my gosh, he's selling Icebreaker. You didn't miss that. Now Zur is pointless.
Yeah, I agree to a certain point though, because most people that support those games are the ones that have to work and maybe had a business trip or. So I don't want it to be where like if I don't log on at least every other day or something, I'm missing out. Like for those that do, they get they just get extra stuff. But I get what you're saying.
I felt like being here. Let me rephrase what I'm saying. You know how right now we just don't feel the need to get on.
Yeah.
In Destiny 1, I felt the need to get on.
Yeah, I agree.
And
for a while it was a fun need to get on. It wasn't like
right. It
towards the
was
end
like
that's where it got me. But
it's like, oh my gosh, where is Zur? You're desperately trying to find him and all this. Now, Bungie's opened up the back end so that people can make apps, and now all you got to do is check a news article every week to see where he is, what he's selling, and if it's worth it or not. You don't even have to go visit him anymore.
well, the public events are better now that they're coming versus like the stupid app hoping
Yeah.
you caught it. That I don't miss.
I still remember in Destiny 1, I can't remember the app's name, but it also had a website that you can go to, and it kind of predicted when the public events were happening
Yeah,
and what it could be.
but it was never super accurate.
No, it wasn't. And you would have to like report it saying no, it didn't happen, so that starts to get smarter. Or it's just I miss those days where we didn't have we didn't know what was coming. But now, since we have a PC version, it's being data mined. We know what's coming out when, and everyone knew Fellwinter's Lie was coming out soon because they data mined that the skin was going to be sold on such a specific day.
See those data mine community people kind of ruin a lot of this stuff, but that's just part of it.
And I feel like I'm a broken record because I also know when I heard Destiny 2 was coming out for PC, I said that in a way it's going to ruin everything because people were going to get in it and it'll be hacked and all that. But part of me was wrong because Blizzard really did a good job with all that. But now that it's on Steam, I mean, you've heard the stories about all the hackers and aimbots in Destiny 2 now because it's on Steam.
I did not know that.
You didn't?
Nope.
That it has ruined Trials.
I did hear people complain about Trials, but I wasn't aware it was because of PC.
Yeah, it's really just PC related. A lot of the streamers who have been doing Trials runs now have been hopping back on the console because of the hacking community on the PC.
Oh man, that's crazy.
It's like at the worst possible time, Bungie is making probably some of the worst moves, in my opinion, ever in the game. And then they're also at the worst state because they left Activision and they don't have that extra help. I hate seeing my favorite game, a game where I've put so many hours into, and we're not even talking like Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts level kind of, commitment here. I'm afraid to say how many hours I have in Destiny 2. But
I think hold on.
I am holding. Did you lose me? Yeah.
No, I hear you, but you can't hear me.
No, I could hear. Well, I could hear you, but I think it's a different mic.
Can you hear me?
That didn't change. Is it the audio coming from your webcam?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but now you sound like a nauseated robot.
I know, this is the headphone.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if it hooks up with the mic, but the mic's not. It's always something, man, with this damn mic.
You know what you sound like? And my grandpa flew planes for a hobby, and you sound like you're like piloting an airplane using one of those mics.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's just like it's not picking up my Yeti for this. My Yeti's on, but it's not picking it up for me to select as a microphone. So like I don't.
These past couple podcasts have been beta mode.
No, I think they've been pretty good. We could always edit this part.
No, it's more fun to keep it in.
Be like, yo, that's the stupid guy, that doc dude, man. God, he can't get his stuff together. Come on.
It's okay. It's okay. I mean, in all honesty, do you have anything else you want to say about the state of Destiny 2?
Oh, I do. I actually do.
You do?
Oh yeah.
Well, come on.
I was gonna pour my heart out, but I need the mic to work.
Yeah, I know.
And I sound ridiculous. It's connected too. Like the light is on. Everything's on.
Have you gone to your Zoom settings and selected it?
I tried it. It's not picking it up either.
Weird. I don't understand why you're having so many problems, like trying to get it to just stay.
I don't get it.
I mean, I switched over to the PC and everything's like, but
I know it just gave me so many issues.
The only issue I've had has been I cannot get my earpods to connect for the life of me. I think the Bluetooth in my PC is just, it's bad. Because I got my what's it called? Let's see. I got them right here. I got my Beats to hook up to it,
Okay.
but for the life of me, it was horrible. The connection was just downright horrible. So I had to go with my old Sony cams from when I was in college.
Yeah, it's just not picking up my Yeti. That's so weird.
Huh. Yeah.
It's because it.
For those who are just listening and can't watch, he's unplugging his Yeti microphone. And I should do play-by-play. He's looking at it. He's looking at something. He's got a smile on his face at least. And he's trying to untangle another cord. Oh, here he goes. He's got it plugged in. Now he's taking the other USB end and he's reaching. I don't know about the perspective, but I'm worried that he's going to knock over a drink or something. So is it working?
Let's see.
So how's everybody doing out there? Hope everyone's well. Staying inside, even though some of the band has lifted in places.
Pick up. Come on.
Heard City Walk opened. Looked kind of crazy. For those who don't know what City Walk is, it's a shopping center area for Hollywood studios, and I believe both in California and in Orlando. I think they're both of them are called City Walk. All I keep thinking about whenever I say that is the South Park episode where you got City Walk Chinese place and the owner keeps calling it, She Walk. George right now is looking, he's staring at the computer.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah, but it's my webcam.
Oh, it's your webcam?
Yeah.
Well, it sounds better than your headphones.
Yeah, I guess we'll go with this for now until it somehow picks up my Yeti.
I still don't understand why you're having such an issue with it.
I don't know.
Blows my mind.
Maybe I got a faulty one or something. It looks like it's just not reading it. Like,
do you have it plugged in directly into your computer?
Yep, right into my USB port.
Huh. That's interesting.
I don't know what's going on.
Did you know that cornhole is an actual professional sport?
I can see that.
I get this notification on my phone this morning saying that the cornhole championships were going on. And I'm thinking, of course, this is the first thing that comes to my mind. This is the perfect social distancing event that could possibly happen.
Very true. Just don't switch sides.
And it was, I turned on my YouTube TV because I was trying to find something to watch while I ate before we did this, and it was on, and these commentators, I swear it was like watching golf, like watching or hearing the commentators from golf, like all the strategies this guy needs to do in order for it to, for the ultimate play. And
they do a full breakdown.
Yes, he's like, this guy he was like, such guy needs to throw the cornhole over on the top right of the circle to get the maximum distance out of. I mean, it was unbelievable.
All right, can you at least hear me good enough for it to record?
Yeah.
You feel comfortable? Okay, I just want to make sure, just because this thing's not reading it, and I don't want to keep dragging it out.
Yeah, we'll We'll figure it out after this episode.
But yeah, so with Destiny, I basically like just want for them to focus on more dungeons instead of more raids. For those that like raids, great. I get it. But it's easier to get 3 than it is to get 6 for the majority of people. I really feel like it's such a low number that actually does them. And I know the community is not so like, oh, we help people take people. No, some YouTubers pretend they no, but they're not. You know, you occasionally might take somebody from as a follower and feel special, but
Yeah.
I just don't enjoy them. Like the last dungeon it wasn't as cool as the Forsaken, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Cool mechanics, cool enough. Hard, but not like, I'm gonna throw my controller against the TV. Hard, like, because we've all been there with some of the Destiny things that they make us do.
Oh, that's an understatement.
Like the last word. Oh my god.
Man, I can't stop yawning.
I still can't believe we 2-man that. Oh man, I still can't believe we 2-man that. But yeah, like I just want to see more stuff like that and let us use our old stuff. I just feel like I get that I'm not one of those that's like to keep it old school or anything. Like I'm cool for change, but add content instead of focusing on just armor, like things to do, events to do, and like bring back the simple stuff like what's it called? New Monarchy and all that. What were those called?
Yeah, the factions.
Yeah, like we make and have the different weekly grind. 1 week was faction, the faction stuff. The next week was Iron Banner. Next week, I don't know, just things like that. Just more events.
That's probably my biggest thing. What's the point of the factions if Destiny is not going to use them? I mean,
exactly.
it would have
Put them in
been
the story. 1 DLC each faction.
I mean, think about it. What is the point of Guardian games? There's no point in it. I mean, we as Destiny players know, especially if we're doing like a raid or even Nightfalls, where like every Guardian is important. We're not necessarily going up against each other unless it's like PvP, but even then, it's still like I've messed with like you as a hunter every once in a while since I main a warlock, but it's not like I want to do Guardian games. What was fun was the faction wars.
Yeah, I agree.
That is what was fun when we were competing against each other. I mean, Dead Orbit pretty much won all the time, but it was more because of their shader.
It was. That's really what it was.
What's the one scout that they have?
The hung jury?
Yeah, hung jury. It was always the the shaders and hung jury. And then so that those were fun.
Yeah.
That was one of the times where actually doing a bounty meant something, because you were doing a bounty for your faction.
And you had the exotic class items too.
Yeah. Don't understand why they haven't done that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's so much because they if they really invested more in the story and fleshed out characters and have more cool NPCs and I don't know, even if they added grindy like more, I don't know. There's more stuff they can do that's not repetitive. Because there's always going to be some repetitiveness. I'm okay with that.
Right. Did you ever go into like why each faction was its faction?
Not really. I should have, but no.
You had Dead Orbit, who sees an imminent war and just wants to get the heck out. Okay, that's what Dead Orbit was. I mean, if you think about the name, Rogue. About said my old clan name. New Monarchy was more of the traditional, being a traditional guardian kind of thing, and then Future War Cult literally used tech, Vex tech, to see the future and to see the past, and their faction to me was the coolest. even though they had the worst shaders possible, they're the lore on that stuff was incredible. I remember before I did this podcast, did one with Clan many years back, and we did a whole thing about Future War Cult, about how they saw the future and the past and are trying to basically rectify everything.
Gotcha.
I mean, Future War Cult was cool.
They had one like good shit that was like white and purple, but that was probably like the only time they had one that was worth, you know.
Their
Everybody likes
colors.
black and white. New Monarchy sometimes has some good ones like gold and red, but
Oh,
what I used to do is, since I played a lot, I used to have each character run a different faction every week.
mm-hmm.
And
That's what I did too.
Yeah, my Hunter was always Dead Orbit. My Titan was always New Monarchy. And then my Warlock / Hunter, because I kept swapping between them too. I would get bored just grinding a new character sometimes.
Yeah.
But that one would just be Future War Cult, just because, again, the same thing. But they all had the I had the gold, the exotic mark for every single one.
Yep, so did I. Well, I really only got them all on my Warlock.
Yeah, my Hunter got all three, and then my Titan and Warlock just got one.
You know, I swear, I'm about to dump Destiny 2 and just go back to Destiny 1 and try to get all the stuff that I'm missing.
Well, having to go back to orbit to go to the planet already annoys me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so you were right. Like, there is some quality of life, like the public events.
Just even mounting, you know, being able to, you know, grab an edge and lift yourself up. Because after we started doing that parkour on that Iron Banner area, you were done after that first fall.
Yeah, no, and
I remember spending hours on that trying to get to the top. Literally, I mean, it took forever to get up there.
I mean, if they would have actually brought back, they could have even brought back Prison of Elders, and I think people would have liked that more than half the crap they brought. Or even if they would have left the menagerie alone or expand on it, because I think the concept of menagerie was actually good. I thought they were like, okay, we have something with this, like different rooms and you could add more rooms or something. Like, I actually think they had a good thing going with that. And then, you know, as soon as they're like, even though you're spending all your resources, we're gonna nerf this. Like, why are you gonna prevent people from doing unlimited? They still have to waste resources to do it. It's not truly unlimited.
Exactly. It's not like we had, like you said, unlimited resources. We still had to go out and grind to get all those resources to go back into the menagerie to get the roles that we wanted. And it's not like we even got the roles that we wanted because you still have the random roles.
Yeah, it will take forever.
You know, and it keeps going back to, you know, Bungie. I understand Bungie wants us to play the game that they created, but they also put themselves in a bind because they want to keep the community happy. And if they mess up on something and we like it, everything just goes chaotic after that.
Yeah.
And that menagerie was on point. When we were able to farm that, that was so much fun to do. Yeah, it was like a little mini raid.
I liked it.
I did too.
And it had raid mechanics, and I think it was just fun. The dungeons was great, and then I think when they really went the Forge, I was not a huge fan of.
No,
not the event itself, and not the little grind to unlock the Forge. Remember each Forge? Oh man,
that
whole thing was. I think that's when it kind of started a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the whole Gambit thing was my least favorite of all the DLCs. That Gambit Prime, the one that introduced Gambit Prime, that other planet or that other event, that was my least favorite.
Gambit Prime, I understand what they were doing. They were trying to make a Gambit that was quicker, but
it's not.
To me, it's not.
And at least maybe time-wise it is, but it does not feel like it. Especially when you're like, almost there, and then they blow all of you up inside your little circle that you have to stand in. So it like sets you up for failure. Like it just doesn't. No. Mm-mm.
It's like I understand the
The invading is
mechanics.
just nasty. No.
I understand the mechanics, why they did it. It's just not fun to play.
Yeah.
You know, I much rather have the old Gambit, and you know, even the old Gambit, I still wouldn't mind getting back into, but
Gem is
because
not terrible.
no,
I
it's
think
not.
what left a bad taste in our mouths. We did it so much to get those get that one hand cannon, which we love. It was definitely, I'm not saying it was not, it wasn't
It
worth it, but
it was worth it. That's the
but
one
it
gun
definitely
I
burned
can.
me out. I don't
That
know.
and the Recluse
Yeah,
are the two weapons where I feel like, yes,
it was
I
worth it.
earned those.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, I do want to try to get the mountaintop. I haven't done that.
I can't.
You see, but the thing is, you got to wait for a specific time. There is a grenade launcher that you can get, but it's Nightfall exclusive. And if you can get that and you pair it with the Fighting Lion, and then you just have, another grenade launcher for your heavy, I heard doing that grind is much easier.
I don't know, man. One of the guys in my in my friends list, I don't know where he was, maybe from Destiny 1 or something, or a while ago. His name is Mountaintop Ruin my KD. So I don't know.
To me, the recluse ruined my KD. So I feel like I'm just already.
I'm
Shoot,
already in there deep. Oh well.
Even still trying to get Luna's Howl, that that in itself also ruined my KD. So
Yeah.
it just kind of like, you know what, let's keep going. But it goes back to what I was originally talking about. I don't know if I want to do it because I don't know if it's going to have that 1 year lifespan.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend, 40 hours trying to get this stinking thing, and then it's going to be, not usable here in a year. So what? There to me, even though Bungie wants us to grind, they're taking the grind out by doing this.
I honestly, we'll see.
I
We'll
agree.
see. Because now I'm not gonna chase God rolls. I'll just, if I get one, great. If I don't, I'll go whatever the best gun is that works for whatever we need to do. But
In a way, this makes me just want to get into the Last Wish raid, do Ribbon and the Walk, and just try to get 1,000 voices.
yeah, I do want to get that. And I still have one of the keys.
I'm sitting on 2.
See, it's just
I
a group we did it with, man. Even the first time we did do it, it was like barely made it.
oh, dude, you have no idea from my end how painful that was. And
I felt so proud that I made it because I was the one that made it down.
Yes. Yes. Oh man.
Because I remember you were like, okay, just do this. Okay, no, you don't grab it. You grab it. Like you were making the calls, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna make it. I'm dropping down. You're like, yes. Yeah, you're like, I'm like, I just dropped down. You're like, yeah, jump down, just drop down. It was a couple. Oh, it was so bad.
Oh.
So bad.
Oh. But
it was me, you, Franklin, G Frank, and was it G? Yeah, G Frank
and your cousin too.
Yeah.
But I don't think your cousin finished it. I think we had to bring in a ringer.
Did we?
I think so. I don't think he finished it because he ended up leaving and we weren't really done yet. I know someone left and I'm pretty sure it was him.
Maybe, yeah, it's true. But yeah, that was interesting as hell, at least.
Oh, yeah. Well, anything else you have to say on Destiny 2?
To be honest, no. We'll just really have to wait and see, and then we can, either praise it if it does well, or give it what it deserves if it doesn't.
They did say in the TWAB they are going to monitor feedback on the weapons. So I don't know. There could be a chance, they end up seeing, hey, this is a bad idea. I mean, like you, I understand rotating weapons in and whatnot, but how about get more creative with the weapon rolls?
But they did say that there is a possibility in the future you'll see your guns again with new roll, and able to roll with the new whatever new is out. So you're gonna make me regrind old guns. Because what you're gonna do is in a year or two bring it out and be like, remember the main ingredient? Now you can get these new rolls on it. You're like, come on, man.
I remember what I was gonna say about Destiny 1. It's like I feel like we're on this, like, how can I put it? Have you seen The Matrix?
Yes.
All three?
Yeah, but I don't really remember 3.
Well, basically it ends up Neo is like the 7th Neo.
Yeah.
And so, they've restarted in a way the Matrix, 7 times now. I feel like we're in the Matrix with Destiny, because with Destiny 1, halfway through, before they were like, okay, the power cap for the old weapons was 170.
Yeah.
But then they end up bringing back the Gjallarhorn for get power level 400. They reintroduced Fatebringer, 2 versions of Fatebringer, an exotic that actually had, the burn on it versus the Fatebringer that doesn't. I feel like we're on like the 4th iteration of the Matrix here, because I feel like they're not learning their lesson.
Yeah, no, they don't. They absolutely do not.
So,
and they still haven't brought in the Don't Touch Me, so
well, like I said, my son is not coming back till they bring No Land Beyond back. And that's like the worst. Well, I don't want to say it's the worst sniper you could possibly get. It's probably the best sniper if you are able to use snipers well. But hopping back on Destiny 1 made me realize how many weapons they really have not brought back.
Nope.
So
I thought with the Vex stuff they would have teased either the Mythic class or the Fatebringer, one of those. That would have been a good time to bring it, because that Vex event wasn't terrible. That one I didn't hate as much. What was terrible was how they finished it. They ended it. Yeah, the way they ended it was terrible. But the event itself wasn't. It wasn't wow, but it wasn't terrible.
It's like, okay, we're building this huge Vex portal at the tower, and then as soon as the event's over, boom, it disappeared. This big, huge Vex portal gone.
And not just that, like the boss is just the boss that you brought back. They just like copy paste the coding. Yeah. So no, I don't know what they were thinking with that, but we'll see, man. All we can do is say we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for listening to our rant here on the Nerd and Geek Section podcast. Along with me was George. I forgot to mention that in the beginning. Do you still not have like a Twitter, or you still can't remember it?
No, I'll get all my information next time. Like I said, I'm still new at this, so I gotta figure it all out.
No problem. So for George, I'm Mase. Thank you for listening. And again, as always, stay safe out there. Try to stay inside, and don't be stupid. Okay. All right, everybody, stay safe.